Okay, everyone, time for the weekly wrap up for August 11th, 2023. My name is Michael Nauss. I'm a chartered market technician, quantitative trader over at StatsEdgeTrading. So, what we do every single day is we go over the markets quickly now just to see kind of what's been going on from day to day, as well as me sharing my watch list going into the next day. If you want that, so you can just copy and paste it into trade ideas and access to all of the different screenshots of every chart that I'm going to show and a bunch of charts that I don't, just to keep the videos shorter. Go to StatsEdgeTrading.com, sign up for the email list. Also, a good way to make sure you don't miss a video because I'll just email it to you. So it just comes through Substack. I don't, sell the emails or anything like that. So StatsEdgeTrading.com, sign up for the email list. Now, what I'm doing now on the weekends, the weekday videos are going to be fast. The weekend videos, I'm going to chill out a little bit. It's 8:30 at night here. I've done a whole lot of scanning. And we're just going to kind of slowly go through weekly charts, longer term charts, kind of sit back, look at the forest instead of the trees, get the big kind of zoom out on what's going on in the markets. But as always, we're going to start here with Bitcoin. And again, another do nothing week. So now we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks in a row, almost 2 months of absolutely nothing. Now, kind of drew these out because like the last time we went through this nonsense, we just had one big explosive week for a move and then we did a whole bunch of nonsense. This is why I really like zooming out on these more macro trends, because it just allows me to make sure that I'm really looking kind of wide at what's going on. So I need to see a break of this declining wedge. That will probably be that 31, 32,000 that I think is going to be interesting. I'll get involved there, but until then, you're going to get chopped. And it's going to be kind of a theme throughout this entire video when we get into equity markets, when we get into all this. This is very much a market to find things that are trending, get involved with those, and just leave the rest of the stuff alone. So again, it is a great time to be a swing trader. I'm having a lot of success recently, but you have to be one of those people who aren't tied down to just one or two symbols or indices. Like I only trade gold or I only trade cryptocurrencies, right? If you are a wide breadth trader, this is going to be a really good time. And I think it's going to be like this going forward for a while. And I'll give you some evidence as we go. Cable, so also known just what they call pound dollar. It's just cable. Massive level here. We have the prior resistance right here and right here. That's acting as support here and maybe still in through here. So same kind of thing I'll show you with the euro. But if this area can hold and we can start to kind of push higher from here, I think that will be an interesting trade, right? Same kind of thing here in euro, right? We just have these big areas that these things are fighting with, but a little bit more strength in the pound than in the euro. Aussie yen, nice kind of pullback here in Aussie yen. We hit this high right here, and then we had this nice pullback here in Aussie yen. So I'm waiting for this downtrend channel to break. That may take us up to highs, because if you look at pound yen, we had a nice little breakout, and if you look at dollar yen, we had a nice little breakout as well. So Aussie yen kind of holding it back, but some interesting potential move there. Now gold, again, I also put this in the currency space because it's a currency, right? It's not an inflation hedge. It's not a security. It's a currency, in my opinion, anyway. We have the anchored view up from right here. We came to it right there, and that caused this massive move. We came to it right there. That gave us a few weeks of upward action. Now we're right back to it. So for my plan for gold in next week is if we zoom into a lower time frame and I start to see that this is anchored VWAP area is going to hold, that's where I'm going to punch in, see if we kind of break this downtrend line like this. If that anchored VWAP holds and I can get a push up, then I think it's going to be game on for gold. So as always, right here in the let's go into, yeah, no, I'm in the right place. I just need to make this a weekly chart. So now we're here into equities. This trade ideas, this is what I use for my trading. It's what I use for all my intraday scanning, my real-time charting. everything there. And this is where you can copy and paste the code that's in the bottom of the Substack to get that email list. So if you don't have trade ideas, give it a shot. Use StatsEdge at checkout, save you 15% off. Trade ideas, that also helps out the channel too. So the SPY, massive level on the SPY. I talked about this last week, how this was the breakdown point for the initial kind of sell-off or downtrend. We came back up to it. We struggled at a little bit, and then we pulled right back into it. Just a small week today, small choppy week again. So talking about how this kind of range interaction is happening all over the place. Again, the market could just be chilling out here for a while. Maybe we don't get through this right away. Maybe we sell off and we have to, mess with it a while and then break through. Unless there's some sort of major event, that's kind of what I see happening. Next is just semis. So SMH. I just really wanted to talk about how weak this was. So we saw the little tiny candle in the SP 500. Semis completely fell off a cliff after failing at this prior high. But things like uranium, which is the next chart, uranium actually is doing a pretty good job. It's actually breaking out from the anchored VWAP. If I draw this anchored VWAP from all-time highs, you can see it kind of lined up pretty well with these prior highs. And we're kind of breaking through that. So bearish on semis, bullish on energy seems to be the look. Kind of confirmed with XLE continuing to push up, getting right near highs here as well. So now for the watch list, again, I don't go over everything on the watch list. You can get access to all of that using my just the copy and paste, or I actually take screenshots. You can come in, you can look. This is kind of this is what I'm always looking at because I do the screenshots first, right? This is just the email list. So there'll be a video at the top, a little paragraph of my thoughts, and then just all of the screenshots you can see all annotated up, and then everything that's on the watch list. Not just the stuff that I'm going to show you, because I basically show you stuff that I add to it. So that's all right here. And then again, just this is the code at the bottom that you paste in. You paste that into trade ideas, and you get access to not only what I'm watching, but where, right? So let's click on SRM, which I think is the first one I have to talk about today. So SRM, right, it puts out a little, this blue line is where the alert's going to happen. If it happens, it's going to light up and kind of tell you. I have also a little note on each one for the reason that I'm interested in as well. So that's why I'm always looking over here, is just to show you that stuff. So the only trade that I got into today was this RPM. And that's just because of, right, this anchored VWAP was holding as support. So anchored VWAP from right before this gap was holding as support for a long time. Finally pushed, closed above that a little bit, just punched in a little bit on the close, hoping we get going. I'm wrong under here. I can at least target these highs. That made for a pretty healthy risk-reward ratio. That's why I took that. So now the stuff I've added. So SSRM is a gold and silver miner. As I talked about before, if gold can get going off that anchored VWAP level, I think that's super interesting. Kind of a little cup and handle look here at lows, right? If we get above here, so 15 or so, that's where I'd probably get in. 14 is where I'm wrong if it can get up to 17, right? So risking $1 to make 2, just do that over and over and over again. Even if you have a lower than 50% win rate, you'll do fine with that. Amazon is actually pulling back to its anchored VWAP from right before the gap here. We're getting right there. You can see it held as support yesterday, the day before, and today. So 3 days now it held on that anchored VWAP. So if we start to push up on Monday over there, that's where I'm interested in this one. Also, Rivian. No, Rivian was from last one. Pinterest. See, a lot of these, I have Amazon on watch, Rivian on watch, Pinterest on watch. So a lot of like kind of big tech names are pulling back. And if the trend's going to continue, there's going to be, I think we're at an important level, which is the anchored VWAP right from this low right here in May. We ran up June, July, August, and then we started to pull back. You can see that anchored VWAP acted as support today, came back into that, held that perfectly, started to push higher on Pinterest. So if we get a continuation off that, you know, I can just set my stop at that low, have a really, really low risk here and see if we can get a continuation. And same with SoFi. Same type of play here on SoFi. If you look at the weekly chart, we have this potential rounded bottom right here. So if we end up bouncing off this anchored view out from the low, which is right here, then I want to get involved in SoFi. Again, big pullback. If I can get it around 9, right, you can target 12. That's a massive win considering I'll probably be risking like 50 cents, right? So that's what it's all about, is just compounding risk versus reward. So again, a little bit longer videos on the weekend. I think I like this a little bit more. Again, let me know what you think. As always, the comments, the likes, the shares, regardless where you're seeing this, really help out with all the algorithms. Appreciate it very much. Just to get the word out there. It's a lot of content for free. And if you're interested in trade ideas, that's how you can help me out too, is just use StatsEdge on checkout. You can use the links over at StatsEdgeTrading as well. And that's it. I'll talk to you guys soon.